with another familiar face, Chad Pennington. How about this foundation?
Well, the foundation's doing well, and it's always great to come out and support great causes, especially when you're trying to help the youth and to give somebody a ray of hope. I mean, it's really a joy to be here.
I know you had a mentor back in the day. Do you remember who it was, Chad?
Yeah, you know, my dad played a big-time part in my life and set the example and was a role model for me. And I always remember growing up with him being a football coach that his high school athletes were my heroes and the guys that I really looked up to.
Chad, tell me, why did you come to Fayetteville for the Jimmy Raye Youth Foundation?
Well, Coach Raye, number one, asked me, and number two, I know what type of person he is and type of leadership that he has, and I've always enjoyed him as a coach, and I wanted to come down here and support him.
You never know who we'll talk to next. Joe Horn, what about this foundation, Jimmy Raye Youth Foundation?
It's a great ordeal. Anytime you take time out of your schedule, ask other athletes or anyone else in the community to be involved with children, to be involved with the youth, to give them some type of understanding and education to help them along the way growing up is wonderful. It's a great idea.
So you see this as like mentoring?
Absolutely, mentoring, giving kids and giving young adults an opportunity to meet other people who've been through life, difficult situations in life and positive situations in life. So I'm all for it. I'm here from Fayetteville. I love coming back here and supporting this Jimmy's Foundation.
We sure do appreciate it, no doubt, Joe. Tell us, do you remember the mentor in your life that made a difference, that made you go to the next level?
Yes, it was so many. Coach Bob Paroli, who's with 71st right now, and Mike Paroli. All of those coaches installed a humbleness in my heart. And that's a big thing that kids and young adults should have. And when you're humble, good things will happen. And when you're not impatient and wanting to have things in your life hurry up and make and be hurry up and be successful. A lot of kids grow up and they want things to happen right now. And once that happens, some problems come in their life. So I'm very excited about this ordeal.
Well, you've heard some great comments from Joe Horn, local guy who made it big. Thank you, Joe. You know the names that Jimmy Raye brings. Eric Dickerson, what about this foundation?
Well, I think Jimmy Raye does a great job with his foundation. I mean, if you know what kind of guy Jimmy Raye is, and most of us, all of us do that are here today, that Jimmy Raye is a very caring guy, and he gives back to the community, and, you know, he's from this area, and that's a great thing for me to come fly way from Southern California. And I told him, I said, it's a hard flight for me to come down here, but I'm very glad that I came down.
And you take your time and put it up for this foundation like Marcus Allen and all the others, and tell us in your heart about the kids.
Well, it's all about the kids. I mean, you think about it, you know, once upon a time I was a kid, you were a kid, and there's kids out there now that hope to do something with their lives, you know, and they're guided by their parents and people like Jimmy Raye. I mean, that's what it's all about because, you know, the children are our future.
Eric, do you remember the person who made a difference in your life?
I would have to say it was my dad, my mom and my dad, for sure. My dad always had a saying, all you do what you might, things done by halves are never done right. And I always try to do everything, you know, full speed.
Hey, Eric Dickerson, a very familiar face right here at the Jimmy Raye Youth Foundation at Fayetteville State University. Zach Crockett, fullback. Man, what about this foundation with Jimmy Raye?
Oh, man, it's unbelievable. Man, you see the whole community is out here. You know, it's good when you're giving back to the community. Then the kids have something to believe in. You came back to your community, you're giving back, and you plant the seed to grow for the future.
You're so true. What we've been asking the NFL players today is, you know, those seeds that are planted, somebody planted a seed in your life.
Exactly.
Do you remember the mentor that made you step up to the next level, Zach?
It was my principal in my high school, you know, and, you know, he definitely enshrined to me, you know, a lot of different values and things to set your goals early. And I did exactly that. I have a foundation just as well that does similar things right here, giving back to the community, have a football camp, and then doing things for the kids in the inner city. And, you know, this is unbelievable, man. You know, the whole community, this is a big family affair out here. You got all the parents, you got the community, you got a lot of sponsors out here, everybody supporting, you know, the Jimmy Raye Foundation, and it's only going to get bigger.
No doubt it will get bigger every year. Anything you want to say to Fayetteville and the community?
Hey, we love you. Thank you for having me. We'll be back, definitely be back next year.
Wow, another famous face. Curtis Martin, running back Jets. Tell us about this foundation.
Well, you know, it's something, first of all, Jimmy Raye, the one who's heading it up, very dear to all of us. He means a lot. He means a lot not only to us, not only to the New York Jets, but to the league. So anytime he needs us to do something, we're there for him.
When Jimmy calls, people listen.
Exactly.
And you came out, I know, for the kids, too.
Yeah. The kids are always first, but, there's other situations where, depending on who's doing it. With Jimmy Raye, it's a reputable cause. That it's for a good cause, and so you're more apt to come out.
Curtis, one of the questions we've been asking the NFL players today is everybody's got a mentor. Do you remember who your mentor was in your life, sir?
My mother. Yeah, my mother. That's the only mentor I've ever really had. Now today I have some mentors, but my mother's been my mentor my entire life, even through football.
Boy, you got it going on the field. Thank you, Curtis. From player to coach, who knows what else, Ernest Biner. Why are you here today, sir?
Well, to try to be down here for Jimmy Raye, man. I think Jimmy Raye is doing an excellent job with, staying involved with the community of his hometown, trying to give back and trying to help these kids out as much as possible. I mean, the scholarship funds that he's supporting, those types of kids, I mean, that's why you try to do something like this, try to make a difference.
Some people, that they go on to from player to announcer. You went from player to coach. Tell us about that transition.
It's a little bit different. Meeting times are a little bit more hectic. You got to spend a little bit more time from your family, but it's a passion. In reality, I'm really just getting paid to do what I was doing as a player, helping the guys out, trying to make them, and loving it, trying to make them better. And doing what my life's passion is.
Mr. Biner, one of the things we've asked all the players today is everyone's had a mentor in their life. Can you remember what mentor in your life made you step it up to the next level?
Well, be perfectly honest, my grandmother. I mean, just that simple. I mean, she took us to church, taught me accountability, the golden rule, and, those are things that I still operate on right now.
Honesty is the best policy.
Honesty, and treat everyone the way you want to be treated. Absolutely.
All right. Mr. Ernest Biner right here at the Jimmy Raye Foundation. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.